Bam, 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 the knockout punch. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. In the time it takes for me to broadcast this show today, approximately 90 people will die. 90 United States citizens will die because they went to an MD. Dick Clark dies the day after he goes to visit an MD for an outpatient treatment. Andy Rooney dies after going to see an MD for a routine physical procedure. They wouldn't tell us what it was. Nobody told us what they did to Dick Clark. All we know is these guys went to the doctor and then they died. And they're not alone. 780,000 people a year die at the hands of MD-directed medical treatments, and we don't bat an eyelash. 3,000 people die in the Twin Towers, and we go to war. 3,000 people die in the Twin Towers, we go to war. 780,000 people a year die from MD-directed treatments, and we continue to give them our hard-earned money every month in the form of insurance premium payments. How much is it for you? Is it $400? Is it $500, $600, $800? If you've got a family, I bet you it's $1,200. And when you buy medical insurance, well, what are you doing? You are paying for access to a system of medicine that does not work, number one, and number two, you are betting that you're going to get so sick you won't be able to afford it. That's what insurance is, right? Oh, I better pay my premium or I'm going to get so sick it's going to bankrupt me. And you know what? You're right. Because the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States is medical bills. Medical bills. It's crazy. Why is it the leading cause of bankruptcy? Number one, because it doesn't work. And number two, because medicine is a for-profit juggernaut. Your hospital is a for-profit business. It is the job of the people working at your hospital, the doctor that you go and see, the nurse that you go and see, the emergency room guy that brings you there. It is their job to make as much money for the hospital as is necessary. So this is why they do too many tests. This is why they keep you in the hospital longer than they need to. This is why they run up the bill and give you the hospital drugs instead of sending you down the street to Walgreens, and because they're going to make more money if they do that, and it's a for-profit business. Heck, they got to pay the bills. There's nothing wrong with making money. However, when you marry a medical monopoly with a system of medicine, the only people who win are the people at the top. And in this case, the people at the top are the pharmaceutical companies. The reason that MDs are in charge of medicine today is because of financial coalitions which were built at the turn of the century that everybody's forgotten completely about. This is the only reason that we go to MDs. You know, I was having a conversation with a patient of mine, and she had a remarkable recovery from type 2 diabetes. It was a remarkable recovery from type 2 diabetes. And, you know, one of the things that we do here is we're building a grassroots coalition of the informed, a grassroots army of sorts, so to speak. People just like you who have taken our medical advice, who have recovered their health, and who then feel motivated and obliged is a good word, to tell their friends and family members and church members about what we're doing, because the MDs are killing us, literally. So she was trying to convince her brother to, get on board with a medical nutrition program for type 2 diabetes, just like she had. And her brother's response was, oh, come on now, Susie. If that alternative stuff really worked, my doctor would tell me about it. My doctor would tell me to do it. And it couldn't be further from the truth. This is the mindset, this is the myth that keeps the entire medical juggernaut moving forward. It is this false, misplaced notion of trust. You are being taken advantage of, and you don't even know it. The MDs that you go to see have you before you even walk into their office, because you have been culturally conditioned to believe that the MD owns medicine. that the MD is trained in all things medical, that the MD knows everything there is to know about medical treatment, and everybody else is a back-of-the-bus alternative quack. That the go-to people for all things medical are MDs. This is what you have been culturally conditioned to believe. This is the matrix inside of which you are embedded. This is the rabbit hole that you have fallen down into, and you don't even know it. So you develop cancer and you go to an MD. And the MD tells you, doesn't ask you, tells you that you need chemotherapy. Even though it was published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology in 1994, I believe, that chemotherapy is ineffective. As a matter of fact, that was 2004. The Journal of Clinical Oncology, Volume 16, Issue 8, December 2004, pages 549 to 560. They did a 14-year study of adults who developed cancer and were treated with chemotherapy. And the results, which were published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, fasten your belts, 97% of all chemotherapy treatments for adult-onset cancer does not work. They don't work. Chemo doesn't work. The only people it works for are the people prescribing it, because they get paid. You get sick and die. Maybe you live an extra year. Who knows? You don't know how long you would have lived with the cancer had they not treated you with chemo. Most people don't die from cancer. Most people die from chemo. And yet we put up with it. The doctor tells you what to do, even though it's ineffective. And you do it without question. And, you know, cancer is just an extreme example. It's the same with type 2 diabetes. It's the same with arthritis. They'll convince you you need a new knee. And then when that knee goes bad, oh, you give them a pass, and they don't give you a refund, and then they put a new knee in. And then when that knee goes bad, you don't criticize them. You still love that doctor for whatever reason, because you've been brought up with this ridiculous, American masterpiece classics notion, Norman Rockwell notion, that your doctor knows what's best for you. But your MD does not know what's best for you. Your MD only knows what your MD has been trained in. And your MD has been trained in not medicine. Your MD has been trained in reductionistic, pharmaceutical-centrist, allopathic medicine. Reductionist, pharmaceutical-centrist, allopathic medicine is really, really, really good when you break your leg or develop a nasty infection, or somebody shoots you in the arm or blows your leg off in Iraq. They're good at that. But for everything else, they stink. And not only do they stink, but they are dangerous. MDs are the leading cause of death in the United States. And giving your body to them in the treatment of a chronic illness is a fool's errand. And if you want to roll those dice, go right ahead. But I'm telling you, there's another way. I'm telling you, you're a knucklehead if you could bring your body to an MD for anything other than trauma or infections. For anything other than trauma or infections, it is a fool's errand, and chances are their treatments will hurt you. Really, folks, cultural myths are, prejudice runs deep. Most people who are prejudiced don't know that they're prejudiced. That's the nature of being prejudiced. They just accept it as part of the MD knows everything. Oh, the MD, slavery is okay. Oh, women aren't smart enough to vote. Oh, childhood labor is a valid economic necessity. Oh, the earth is flat. Oh, the earth is at the center of the solar system, not the sun. Oh, and on and on and on we go, till death do us part. Really, what we need to do culturally is treat MDs the same way we treat any other salesperson, because that's what they are. MDs are selling us a particular medical treatment, a particular medical philosophical point of view. They are selling it to us. You're buying it. For goodness sake, you buy it when you don't even use it in the form of your monthly medical insurance. You don't even use it and you buy it. I mean, that's like paying for a cell phone that you never get. That's like paying for, internet service and cable television that you never get. Or, maybe you'll get it for 3 days a year. You pay for it every month, and then maybe you get it 3 days a year. And when you get it, those 3 days of the year, they make you pay more. And this is what we all do. It is unbelievable to me from my vantage point. I know why we do it, because you don't know there's a better way. You don't know there's any different way, and that's why we do it, and you're scared. The only reason that the MD profession exists and persists is out of fear. They have you scared to death. And quite frankly, arthritis is painful. It's no fun. Depression is no fun. Insomnia is no fun. Anxiety and panic attacks are no fun. Fibromyalgia is no fun. Type 2 diabetes and arthritis are no fun. Something must be done. So you're sick and you're scared, you're in pain, what are you going to do? Anything the guy in the white coat tells you to do, even though it won't work and it has a high possibility of hurting you, you're going to do it. Because you don't know there's anything else to do. And the guys with the white coats giving the ineffective treatments to you for the last 100 years have gone out of their way to tell you that everybody but them is a quack and you bought it hook, line, and sinker. Doesn't matter to you that the American Medical Association was convicted in 1984 in federal court. Look it up, Wilkes versus the AMA, of funding a 10-year slander campaign against the chiropractors, going out of their way, lying about the chiropractors, saying, oh, don't bring your sons and daughters to the chiropractors. They have substandard training and they'll hurt you. They're just a bunch of quacks. So they were convicted in federal court of doing that, and the federal judge ordered the AMA to pay the chiropractors $25 million in damages. You don't even know this. This is how bad it's gotten. The guys in charge stay in charge by lying and slandering their competition, everybody but themselves. It's a fool's errand, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to pull the curtain back, show you how you can recover your health, and don't forget, it's Testimonial Tuesday. Coming up, we've got a great testimonial from Bernie Owens in upstate New York. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fire Your MD Now. I'm your host, Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopathic physician, helping you to understand what to do when you are up against a health concern. Now, towards that end, I'd like everybody listening, please, to visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com. That's pretty easy to remember, fireyourmdnow.com. And on the website, there's lots of free information. You can just point and click to your heart's content. I also have subscriptions to a monthly webinar service that I have. The first Monday of every night, I do an introduction to longevity, giving people a little bit of the history of the longevity company and information about our founder, Dr. Wallach, and where all of this really great research came from, and also a little bit kind of an overview of the business opportunity here. So Monday nights we do the health opportunity and the business opportunity. It's a 45-minute webinar, and that's free. You can just go to my website and point and click to your heart's content every Monday night at 8 o'clock Central Time and join the webinar. It's fun and it's free, and you'll meet a lot of people from all over the world. Last night we had somebody on from Australia. How about that? Now, Wednesday nights, I do health issues. Tomorrow night, we're doing how to detoxify your body safely. It's a 45-minute tutorial that will walk you through what exactly happens when your body detoxes, what that means, and how to do it safely. Next week, we're going to do arthritis and the different types of arthritis and how holistic physicians support and promote the health of bones and joints, and why you should follow the medical nutrition model over the pharmaceutical model. We do different health conditions 3 Wednesdays out of the month, and to gain access to that service, it's $5 a month. $5 a month, you can cancel at any time, and it's not one of those deals where it's really, really hard to cancel and you have to spend 45 minutes on the internet reading the fine type to find out which link to click to cancel. No, it's easy. I make everything easy. There's no bait and switch here. It's a simple $5 a month subscription. It's, how much do I charge a year? $50 a year. $5 a month, $50 a year to gain access to very state-of-the-art, cutting-edge nutrition about medical nutrition. So check it out and join us tomorrow night when I talk about how to detoxify your body safely. Because really, folks, when it comes to all things having to do with medicine It's time we picked our heads up and started looking at the people who are delivering our health care on the same level as us. Stop putting your MD on a pedestal. There's no need for them to be there. You know, if they were offering you free service, if they were completely 100% humanitarian and going to see them was free, and their profession was overseen by an objective third party that had no financial concerns about what they did whatsoever, that would be a completely different thing. But the pharmaceutical companies are embedded so greatly with the practice of medicine today that the practice of medicine today has, in the allopathic MD camp, has devolved. MDs aren't really doctors anymore. They're just basically drug salesmen. They're shills for the pharmaceutical organization. You know, people, and it's an interesting statistic, because in countries where medicine is socialized, in countries where there's a salary cap on how much you can make as a doctor, in those countries, the majority of people who become doctors are women. And in the countries where medicine is a for-profit business, the majority of people who become doctors are men, because men, typically speaking, are into it for the money, and women, typically speaking, are into it for compassion and care. This is why, generally speaking, again, I'm making broad generalizations here, nurses are way better than doctors to deal with, because nurses actually have a heart. But, you know, the doctor lords it over the nurse whenever they can, and the politics of working in hospitals are, you know, just this side of days of our lives. It's crazy what goes on here, and it's even crazier what we put up with. And the only reason we put up with this is because, for heaven's sake, we don't know there's any difference. Just by simply eliminating, going to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, and clicking on the good food, bad food list, there's a list of 10 foods that I have that I recommend everybody stop eating. And there's a reason why each of these 10 foods are bad for you. If you did nothing else, no exercise, no yoga, no meditation, no prayer, stopped going to church, didn't take any vitamins, all you did was stop eating these foods, you would add 5 to 10 years to your life, and you would start to feeling better within 7 days. That's how bad it is for us here. This is how much we don't know about what's healthy and what's not. Really, we don't know anything about it. Because the people that we trust to give us information only know about drugs and surgery. They don't know anything about nutrition. So why on earth would you go to them for advice about anything other than drugs or surgery? Well, it's beyond me. But I'm here to help you out. I'm here to lift you up. I'm here to give you free information. FireYourMDNow.com is where you want to go. Stick with us. We're up against the break. Coming back with some testimonials. You're going to love it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fire Your MD Now, and I'm your host, Dr. Peter Glidden. Now, remember, the last week of the month is Testimonial Week, and this is Testimonial Tuesday. We have on the line with us a gentleman from upstate New York has had quite a history with medical nutrition, quite a history with the Longevity Company, and quite a history with Dr. Joel Wallach, the founder of Longevity. And I'd like to welcome to the show Bernie Owens. Bernie, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Doc.
Thanks so much for calling, Bernie. Now, let's just take this one step at a time. First things first, how old are you, Bernie?
I'll be 70 in October.
70 in October. And give me a little bit of a snapshot of your health before and after Dr. Wallach.
Before Dr. Wallach, I used to come home every night completely tired out and completely exhausted. And I used to call it the Oprah nap. I'd get in a chair with a cup of coffee, turn on Oprah Winfrey, and I would go out like a light. And I used to call it my power nap, really. And then I'd wake back up, and we'd have supper, and I'd want to be able to watch the news and a little bit of television. Next thing you know, I'm falling asleep in a chair. I'd go to sleep at night, maybe 10 o'clock, because I used to get up at 5 in the morning. And when I got up at 5 in the morning, I was just as tired as I was when I went to bed the night before. I'm not kidding you, Doc. I was really exhausted.
Yeah. So, now, you worked at the Hilliard Corporation, right?
Yes, I worked for Hilliard. So then when I started on this product, all of a sudden, I don't want no naps anymore. The people at work said, Bernie, are you on speed dope or what? I said, no, I'm taking these minerals and vitamins, and I feel fantastic. Get me some. So I started everybody out on a bottle of minerals. At the time, it was $18. And I said, go ahead, try these. If they don't work, you don't pay me for them. But if they work, you have to pay me for them. Well, next thing you know, they're all paying me for them and saying, get me more. These things work. Well, the next thing I know, I'm making more money working longevity than I was working for Hilliard. And I was one of the highest paid maintenance men. I was making $50,000 a year.
Yeah, isn't that something? Now you're a multi-million-dollar earner in the company right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a multi-million-dollar earner.
And how long have you been with the company?
1999.
1999. Now, did you have a problem with arthritis or a problem with the eczema on your hands?
I blew out both of my knees at Hilliard.
Yeah.
And what I do now is when someone comes to my office, I just get down without touching anything, get right down on my knees, walk across the floor, and get right back up without touching anything. And they just look at me, and I say, oh, by the way, I'll be 70 years old in October. I don't believe that. I'm only 50 years old, and I can't do that. Of course you can't. Because you don't have everything you need because you can't have it. It's impossible to get it out of our food groups.
I know.
People can't understand it. So you go to the doctor, and he starts giving you stuff. You know, there's an old saying, if you give a man enough rope, he'll hang himself. Yeah. Well, if you give a doctor enough rope, he's going to hang you.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
And that's where it's at, Doc. That's the way I feel, and I know it's true.
Now, tell me what happened to your hands.
Oh, my hands this was phenomenal. I had dermatitis, okay? And it would crack right down almost to the bone. And I had it since 1967.
Was it the palm of your hands or the top of your hands?
Both sides.
Both sides?
Both sides. Oh, both sides. My hands were all dried right out.
Really?
And they said it was a dermatitis. Well, they put me on all these creams and stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And prednisone, too.
Yeah.
Every now and then when they started going up my arm, he'd give me prednisone.
Yeah.
So when I first started in this, Roger looked at my hands. He says, I want Doc to check those out. So I walked up to Doc Wallach, and I showed him my hands. And he looked at me, and he said, you got dermatitis. How many EFAs are you taking? I said, I take 2 a day. He said, take 12 a day. It'll be gone in about 3 weeks. He lied. It was gone in less than 3 weeks. I'm not kidding you.
Isn't that something?
I am being completely serious. Of course, I was on a lot of product.
Yeah.
But he was right. My wife called him a quack.
Yeah.
And she come right out. She told Doc, you're a quack. I'm not kidding you. I'm being serious. And I thought the same thing because I'd been under doctor's care since 1967. Doctors can't be that dumb, are they?
Right.
But see, that's what bothered me. Now, my hands are like, they still are, because every time I meet anybody, first thing I do is I show them my hands. Here, they soft. It's not because I don't do anything. Hell, I do the dishes. You know, I don't mind. I like putting my hands in water. I don't have to worry about them being all dried out. I still take the EFAs.
Now, listen, how long did you have the hand problem before you met Dr. Wallach?
From 1967 to 1999.
Come on.
22 years.
1967 to 1999. Holy smokes. And how long? Yeah, how long did it take for it to resolve?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Isn't that something? What about your knees? How long did the knee problem take to resolve?
I had the knee problem in 1993. I blew it out putting in an overhead crane down Hilliard. I blew one out first. Then it hurt. Oh, my God, what did I do? And I had to finish this, so I put the other knee down without anything underneath it. We were on concrete.
Yeah.
And, bam, I did it to the second knee. Yeah. I could hardly walk.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, after starting with Doc, I mean, my knees are real sore. I would never, ever go down on my knees again after that. Yeah. I can go down on my knees now and walk.
How long did it take? How long did it take for the knees to bounce back once you started the medical nutrition?
About the year, I'd say almost in 1999, just about that time, because I started on all the glucogels.
Yeah, so
I've got a better one yet.
All right, go
ahead.
I
met a guy with a torn rotator cuff the other day, right?
Yeah, rotator cuff in the shoulder. Now slow down, Bertie. People don't know what a rotator cuff is. So those are the muscles that hold your arm to your shoulder. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I was using a big 3/4-inch drill going through a big girder down Hilliard.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it caught going through.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be tough and hold on.
Yeah.
Correct. Oh, my God, it hurt.
Yeah.
And so I finally told the guy, get me down, right? I could not lift my arm.
Yeah.
Doc, I could not lift my arm whatsoever.
Yeah.
It hurt that bad right up in there in that shoulder.
Yeah.
So they immediately run me up to the hospital. They took x-rays and stuff. He said, you got a torn rotocup. I want you on all these drugs, you know. I said, what for? He said, pain. I said, no, I don't want any pain medicine. Well, you're going to have to take ibuprofen. I said, do you have any literature on it? She said, yeah. So I said, can I see it? She said, sure. So she handed me, this was the doctor's physician. So she handed me the literature on ibuprofen. And it said in there, if you got kidney or liver disease, tell your doctor. I said, hold it here. It says right here if I've got these diseases to tell you about them. How do I know if I got them? You should be telling me. I said, I don't think I'll take this either. So she said, okay, I'm going to send you down to physical therapy. I get down to physical therapy, and they said, hey, we want you to go on all these drugs again. I had to go through the whole spiel again, Doc. But I didn't take anything. But when I got home, I called my buddy Roger. I said, Roger, I got a torn rotocup. I cannot lift my left arm. What can I do? He said, this, of course, the CM cream, CM plus, glucogels, extra amount, liquid glucogels, and at the time, the regular tangerine, because we didn't have Beyond Tangy at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I really overdone it. Really took more. And essential fatty acids also, more than I normally would take, right? 3 weeks later, I'm back at the doctor's office. I'm sitting on the table. She says, I think you're okay, Mr. Holmes. I looked at her and I said, yep. She says, lift your arm. I lifted right up over my head real slow, all the way back down. She says, this is my name, and this is my uncle. Would you please call him up? I signed them both up.
Now, listen, for the listening audience, did Roger, the guy that gave you the advice about how to support and promote healthy tendons in your arm, did Roger have any medical training?
No.
Was Roger a doctor? Was he a licensed physician? Was he a nurse? Was Roger?
Nope.
What did Roger do for a living?
Roger is the same thing I am. He's a longevity distributor. And that's why I like your new idea. Because I tell you what, you gave me an idea the other night, and I put it all across all my big people. And guess what? You got a winner, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, too. Bernie's talking about a health education webinar series that I'm putting together to help people understand, just point and click, real easy. We know this is arthritis from the MD's point of view. This is the drugs that they use. These are the diagnostic tests. This is how they treat it and why you shouldn't do it. And this is arthritis from the holistic point of view, and this is what we do to support and promote healthy bones and joints, and this is why you should do it. Because what does it say in the Old Testament, Bernie? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Really.
Isn't it the truth?
Yeah.
So, all right, so look, so you're a living, walking, talking testimonial for the benefits of medical nutrition. Is that correct?
Correct. But let me tell you something. I cannot tell anyone what to do to get better. And that's the part that upsets me. But with this new thing that you got going, all I've got to do is walk into my computer, get on my site that you're going to give me for so much a year. I'm going to click it. I'll print that out for the people, hand it to them, and say, give me $1.50 to help me pay for the ink.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all I want. But here is a doctor's point of view, not yours truly, and he can tell you what to do, and I can't.
Well, look, this is a great idea, and the point here for the listening audience is that healing is easy. Surgery is difficult. If you're going to try to pull a bullet out of somebody's arm or stitch up a bleeding artery, you better have medical training. But to learn how you can help your bones and your joints and your blood sugar and your heart and your kidneys and your liver and your lungs, to learn how you can support and promote the health of the human body to actually help your body recover from chronic illness, it's easy. Because your body wants to fix it. Your body needs to fix it. Your body is trying to fix itself all the time. Most of the time it comes up short, not because you have a voodoo curse, not because you have a bad gene, but simply because your body has run out of the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. It's that simple. Healing is easy, folks. That's why the Longevity Company exists, right? We are here to build a grassroots coalition of the informed. Now, this guy that told Bernie about what to do was a guy just like Bernie. And if Bernie hadn't known that guy, Bernie would be 6 feet under the ground right now, and the last 5 years of his life would have been one painful misery. So because somebody joined us, this guy Roger, because Roger opened his mouth and told Bernie, hey, look, I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. Give this a try. Bernie's here with us today. And that's all that Bernie's done in order to build his business. Tell me about the business opportunity, Bernie. We have a minute and a half here left.
It is the best business. I don't see why everybody that's listening right now don't join you right now, Doc, because this is the easiest business to do. You know, you see all these ads, home-based business, home-based business. This is the business you want to be into. It's word of mouth, one to another. Once you get 3 or 4 people under you, and they go out and they want everybody to feel the way they feel. All this energy. Well, you can tell by my voice, I am full of energy. A lot of people look at me and say, you can't be that old. Well, I am that old, but I tell you what, I feel more like 20. I'm not kidding you. I feel great every single day. And I used to have COPD, asthma, and all these diseases. My doctor told me I was going to be on oxygen. I am. I'm sucking it all in. I can breathe great. I'm doing fantastic.
Bernie, you are an inspiration. Thank you so much for calling. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. The power of medical nutrition unleashed. Gentlemen, this is your lucky day. You've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. And the truth has a ring to it, doesn't it? You can hear it in Bernie's voice. That's why I love my job. Because all that I need to do in order to show people the light is tell the truth. There's no inflation here. There's no funny business. There's no bait and switch. There's no obfuscation. There's no nonsense. There's no fine print. There's no side effect disclosures, disclaimers like those ridiculous direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical ads. Well, this new drug, one of the side effects may be death. Consult with your physician first. You've got to be kidding me. All you need to do to have a successful longevity business is tell the truth. That's all there is to it, because the truth has a ring to it. For goodness sake, here's how it is. In the world of medicine, as it's delivered in the United States, on that totem pole, you've got the MDs, then you've got the osteopaths, then you've got the chiropractors, then you've got the nurses, then you've got the physician's assistants, then you've got the Ayurvedic medical practitioners and the massage therapists, and then there's the ground, and then there's 50 feet of mud, and then there's the naturopaths. We are so far down on the totem pole, it's not even funny. If I was to attempt to practice medicine in Chicago, I'd be thrown in jail for a year and fined $5,000 for practicing medicine without a license, just because I crossed state lines. In Seattle, as a naturopath, I can prescribe drugs, deliver babies, perform minor surgery, work in hospitals, legally refer to myself as a physician, order any diagnostic test I want, and it's all covered by insurance. But oh no, can't do that in Illinois. Oh, just by crossing state lines, I must have forgotten everything that I learned. Oh, heavens save us. We do not have a free medical market in the United States. We do not. That's why we do what we do. That's why we build a grassroots coalition of the informed, because just like Bernie would be dead in the ground. And it would not have been pretty the last 5 years unless his friend Roger opened his mouth. I'll tell you Roger's story someday, and maybe I can get Roger on this week for a testimonial. Roger's story was remarkable. I'm going to try to get him on. He was a gold miner in Alaska, preparing a Viking funeral raft for himself because he was in so much pain, and I'll let him tell you the story if I can track him down. When you are shown the light of medical nutrition, there's no looking back. You know, once you receive the truth, once you uncover the truth, once you perceive something that's true, you're in its velvet grasp forever. You know, once you actually get it, that the sun's at the center of the solar system, well, there's no going back, baby. Once you get it that the earth is round, well, there's no going back. Once you understand 2 + 2 = 4, there's no going back. Once you understand that the majority of chronic illness are created by lack of nutrition, there's no going back. And once you understand that it is impossible to secure all of the nutrients that your body needs in order to be healthy from food, there's no going back. There are things we need to do to make ourselves survive on planet Earth. We need to build houses, protect ourselves from the elements. We need to heat the houses in the winter, cool them in the summer. We need to find water and purify it. We need to develop waste elimination systems, sewage treatment plants, right? We need to do these things just to survive, for goodness sake. There's one more thing we need to do, but your MD failed to tell you this. You need to search the globe, secure all 91 essential nutrients that your body needs, put them together in biochemically sophisticated, bioavailable recipes, and swallow them every day. If you do not supplement with the 91 essential nutrients that your body needs every day, it is only a matter of time until you run out of something and your body breaks. Ladies and gentlemen, visit fireyourmdnow.com, click on the Join Us button, and get informed. We're here to help. This is Testimonial Tuesday, and this is the Testimonial Week, the last week of the month. Join us tomorrow when you're going to hear more testimonials from people that we've dragged into the light of medical nutrition. First, they'll make you cry, and then I hope they make you angry. Angry enough for you to get into action and take back your health. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.